1 week after the October 26 election in Georgia, there's an atmosphere of both uncertainty and stability. With the vote count complete, and even on the following Sunday, opposition groups responded with disbelief and paralysis at the victory of the ruling Georgian Dream party announced by the Central Election Commission at 53.94% versus the combined 37.78% from opposition coalitions that passed the threshold. President Salome Zurabishvili has jumped into the fray, calling for a protest on Monday, October 28. Speaking to us on the sidelines, she issued a brief but powerful call to action for European partners. President, what do you expect from European Union?
Support and support.
In the speech in front of the parliament, she spoke of a stolen election and later claimed in an interview that she has evidence of a fraud. Zurabishvili is in a unique position. Elected by popular vote, her role was reshaped by reforms moving Georgia toward a parliamentary system, effectively reducing her power. Her successor will be chosen by parliament. And what about the alleged fraud? The Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe acknowledged voters had wide choices and overall campaign freedom, but noted significant challenges like political polarization, restrictive laws, and irregularities around election day. Before the election, RSX and Edison Research Institutes conducted extensively exit polls. The outcome? The Central Election Commission's numbers are deemed unreliable, statistically impossible even. Throughout the week, Georgian Dream received a few congratulations, one notably from Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán, who even rushed to Tbilisi to show support, leveraging his current role as EU Council President. His visit sparked criticism among EU partners who raised serious doubts about the election's fairness. The US State Department also proposed an international investigation urging Zurabishvili to present the alleged evidence of fraud. Meanwhile, the EU ambassador to Georgia stated the country's accession process is stopped, citing Georgia's distancing from our values. Georgian Dream, on its part, defends the legitimacy of the election, claiming compliance with EU standards, despite the European Commission pointing out insufficient progress on 9 required reforms for membership. Publicly and on campaign posters, Georgian Dream declares its goal of joining the EU. Yet, as we have seen this year, it's implemented policies that have strained ties with both Brussels and Washington. Georgian Dream has also played on fears of Georgia being pulled into the Russia-West conflict, saying they risk becoming the next Ukraine. Many voters of Georgian Dream, party inspired by the controversial former Prime Minister Bidzina Ivanishvili, believe the government will lead them into Europe. And the opposition? It's waiting and divided. The so-called Georgian Charter, which promised unity if victorious, is shaky, and for Georgia party, led by former PM Giacomo, distanced itself from an opposition protest planned for Monday, November 4th. What's the public reaction? Some are disillusioned, saying there's no point taking to the streets if the opposition lacks a plan. Millennials and Gen Z largely voted differently from their parents and grandparents, who are generally more pro-government. In the cities, the opposition leads, while in the countryside, the government holds sway. Civil society groups like Dafioni and Talga are mobilizing their followers independently, and some people, armed with degrees from the West, are thinking about joining the diaspora. Let's sum it up. Overall, Georgian Dream still holds broad popular support, while the opposition was unable to build on the momentum of May's protest, now compounded by recent indecision. And where does this leave President Zurabishvili, whose term ends this year? Can she still act as a unifying figure for the opposition? And who will replace her? Most likely, a choice that secures Georgian Dream's interest. Maybe even Ivanishvili himself. We'll see. And as always, comment, like, share, and stay up closer.